Welcome to the Floral Design Institute Video Library. I'm Leanne Kessler, Director of the Institute, and I'm here today to share with you a Flower Girl basket. Now, this little basket isn't a traditional basket. It's perfect for the very young little girl that maybe can't handle a traditional bouquet or basket. It's easily carried from the handle, and it's very sturdy, or can be carried like a basket. Again, very sturdy. It's very lightweight, no water, no muss, no fuss, and easily adaptable to whatever age for the flower girl. To begin with, you're going to want to wire and tape all your materials. Now, I say all, but in reality, it's just the larger, more important blossoms, like the Gerber daisy. For this, I hairpin, just folding it in half, and then feeding it through the center, catching the opposite side and feeding it on through, and then pulling it till it just disappears, and taping it in. You don't have to go all the way to the bottom, just a ways. Roses I would also wire. Remove their stem, and then do a pierce technique. Straight through and bending it down. Now I'm using a 22 gauge wire and then taping with light green tape. If you need more instruction on taping techniques, refer to the video library. Got lots of fun information in there. Now the little flowers, the filler flowers, fluffy things, I don't actually wire those. I'll just use these in a natural stem. Even the campanula, it could go either or. I think since the stem is so big, I'm going to go ahead and wire it. And for this one, I'm just going to clutch wrap right around the stem, just like so, and then tape right down. To create the handle of the basket, I work with 18 gauge wire, and I actually use 3 pieces of the 18 gauge. And I tape it together. So I have one solid, very strong handle to work with. I just tape it all the way down. Then I want to cover that because it's not very pretty, so a bit of ribbon is perfect. Now I don't need to go to the very bottom, so I tie the ribbon on, maybe 4 inches up. Doesn't really matter where. About 4 inches is good. Tie it, and then start wrapping. Tucking in your excess. I'm using a number 9 so I can go quickly and get a nice heavy coverage. And then at the end, tie it in a knot again. Securing it. So now I have a ribbon wrapped wire with 2 taped ends, 2 tails, and I fold it in half. And that becomes the handle then that will work with the basket. Once you have your main flowers wired and prepared, take your little loose flowers and cluster them in your hands. Make sure there's no leaves below your fingers. You want it to be neat and tidy. So here I've got beautiful lady's mantle, acamella, and a little bit of yarrow. That green and yellow is so bright and cheerful. And I'm just clustering it tightly in my hands. Very snug and compact. It's one of the beauties of this particular bouquet is it's so compact that everything supports the next thing. Once you've got it all in your fingers and you're satisfied, go back and add your larger flowers. And they just sit right on top. And that way they're actually protected by the other flowers. Tucking it in. Nestling it, adding the campanula, double checking that everything's right where you want it. You can turn it, double check, see if you love it. I'm going to tuck my pink down a little bit and pull my orange up a little bit, just to get a tiny bit of definition there. Then the handle goes sliding right down into your fingers. Just like so. Finding a hole, there we go, pulling the streamers to the side, and then once again checking to see if everything stayed where you want it. Sometimes when you add the handle, things wiggle on you and you go, oh, I wish that wasn't there. You can adjust it. Then last step, add a few leaves. Calyx right to the back, just like so. And that will cover all of your lower mechanics. Notice I didn't wire those either. Just set them in. And then tape it all together using your corsage tape. Just wrapping very, very, very snugly around the top, catching all the stems in until you get all the way to the bottom. As you work your way down with the tape, you're going to want to cut the stems off. They're a little long. General rule of thumb is about 1 hand length is plenty for a little girl to hang on to. So as I reach that point, I go in and I cut these off, just like so, and then go back and finish taping, making sure I go all the way over the end to make all the wire concealed and covered and hidden away. To finish concealing your mechanics, hold it upside down and ribbon wrap the handle. I usually just drape it over and then start wrapping, leaving this extra end hanging, and that's how I secure it when I get to the top. I just wrap, round and round. And when I get up here, I've got that extra end to tie in a knot. And then I'll tie it again, just to make sure that it doesn't come undone. The finished basket can be handled from the handle or from the handle. There's 2 choices, or both, whichever the little girl prefers. Once you've mastered the basic technique, you can add more ribbons, add in a little bling. The Lomi gems are wonderful. Beads, more ribbons, whatever you would like. Now, as you're working on yours, if you find questions or if you can't find something, don't hesitate to call me at 1-800-819-8089 or email me at Leanne, Leanne, at FloralDesignInstitute.com. Now don't forget, there's many more videos in the library. Check them out, have fun, and do something you love.